Hello and welcome to our parenting class. Today we will dedicate the class for the Refuah Shelema Bekarov of our soldiers, our wounded, our Chatufim B'ezrat Hashem, for the protection of all the soldiers in all Am Yisrael. Refuah Shelema also for Elisheva Bat
Esther.
Bat Esther. Elisheva Bat Esther. רפואה שלמה בקרוב, רפואה שלמה also for שירה יפה בת שרה, טל יעקב בן שרה, יוסף ישי בן דניאל מרים, ימיהו בן דבורה, ועידון שלום בן שרה. שיר המעלות, ממעמקים קראתיך אדוני, אדוני שמעה וקולי תהיינה אזניך קשובות לכל תחנוני, עם עוונות תשמע יא אדוני מי יעמוד. כי מייחס לרע למען תברא, קיוויתי אדוני קיווית נפשי ולילא אכלתי, נפשי לאדוני משומרים לבוקר, שומרים לבוקר, יאכל ישראל אל אדוני, כי אם אדוני החסד והרבה עמו פדות, והוביל ישראל מכל עוונותיו. So last week we were speaking about affection. We spoke about a very important part of affection that is demonstrating the affection to our kids. Of course, it's a parenting class, so we're speaking about our kids, but it's true with our spouse, with our friends, right? But with our kids in particular. Why? Because kids, for them, it's vital. Contrary to a spouse or a friend, demonstrating love from a parent who demonstrates his love to his kid is actually really like imprinting in his kid his sense of security, of safety, of unconditional love. So it's very important to really express it and demonstrate it. And we were speaking about last week about the 5 senses that we can use in order to demonstrate it, right? So this week, we are going to speak about something else. We're going to speak about what can actually be on the way to affective transmission. What can take us away from demonstrating our affection, right? Before that, sorry, I just want to say a few words because I read that from Rabbi Yechiel Jacobson on his book, and I thought it was very interesting. Some people are scared to demonstrate their affection because they are afraid of spoiling their kids. So we're just a few minutes on differentiating what is the difference between spoiling a kid, right, and showing and demonstrating affection. First of all, there is a concept that there's not such a concept as demonstrating too much affection, right? There is no like giving too much affection. What is spoiling a kid? Spoiling a kid, according to Rav Yechiel Jacobson, is actually not a matter of affection, but is a matter of discipline. When a parent spoils his child, he's actually lacking discipline. And therefore, it's not a matter of giving too much affection, but of trying to find the right way to discipline your kid and do not accept to give him things when he doesn't need them or when he doesn't deserve them or when it is not the moment for him to receive that. Okay? So this is the difference between spoiling and giving a lot of affection. It's not the same area. One is a dysfunction in the area of discipline, the other one, and it has nothing to do with affection. Okay? So just to make sure, that's in the previous page. Now, let's see what obstacle can come on the way to the transmission of affection. So, it's very interesting how the Rav is actually explaining us that the society is encouraging us to live 100%. So we know that we are in the Western society. We live in the Western society. The Torah teaches us that there are two types of energy. The energy that we call mashpia, and that is considered the male energy, and the energy that is called mekabel, mekabel, sorry, that is the female energy, right? The feminine energy. So what is the difference? The feminine energy is represented, symbolized by a circle. And the feminine energy is being, receiving, making space for something to grow, to develop, whether it's life, whether it's a baby, whether it's a plant, whatever. Usually it is linked with life, okay? So the idea that a society would be filled with men with male energy is this idea that a society is promoting the system of achievement. In order to exist, in order to have value in the society, you have to be an achiever. You have to give. You have to accomplish. You have to build. If you just are, you don't have any existence. You don't have any value, right? So the Western world really values the idea of being an achiever, that male energy of accomplishment that is represented, symbolized by the arrow, that is going always up, always in movement, right? The feminine energy is more present in Eastern culture, like Asian culture, right? Even some Arabic culture will be more in the meditation, the moment, the ability to just be, right? So of course they have epitomes, and I don't want to go into that right now because this is not really the purpose of the class. But it's interesting to understand that within that Western world, this world where we value accomplishment and production, productivity, everything like that, there is this idea that we cannot misuse 1 second, right? And the problem is that the society right now offers social medias, a lot of different types of medium that will help the person feel that they are very productive. But in reality, they are missing the moment, right? And why is it so important to understand for parenting? Because one of the biggest challenges of our generation as parents is that I showed you a picture of my family, is that, right? Why is this such an important deal in education? Because we became so addicted to WhatsApp, to Instagram, to TikTok, to you name it, right? Even just seeing a recipe, ordering your supermarket on Instacart, anything now goes through this phone. And our kids are now experiencing a parent who is very busy texting or searching for something, even for school. I mean, like if you want to order the meals for the school, you have to go on your phone and everything goes through that, right? So we spend so much time on our phones that we disconnect from the real parenting. Of course, it's important to have everything that we need. Like it's great to have tools in order to avoid spending 2 hours in the supermarket and have Instacart deliver it for us. It's great to be able to be part of so many groups in order to be part of our community, know which shiurim are on, etc., etc. But we also have to remember for ourselves to put that on the side when we are with our kids. And it's not easy. if you have an iPhone, you have a tool that is called the screen time. I personally use it a lot for myself, and I put screen time for me. When I used my social medias a certain amount of hours per day, I cannot use them anymore. That is doing like auto-discipline in order to remind myself that I want to be available for my kids. I want to be available for the ones who I want to demonstrate affection, because how can I demonstrate affection while I'm busy on this? Elisheva, don't worry at all, okay? Don't worry.
Thank you.
Of course, my love, of course. So it's very important to realize that this is an obstacle to affection, to showing, to demonstrating the affection. It is time consuming to be on the phone. And I don't know if each and every one of the person who will be watching that video is Shomer Shabbat, Shomeret Shabbat or not. But if you're Shomeret Shabbat, meaning that if you keep Shabbat, if you don't use any electricity, for instance, on Shabbat, that's one part of respecting Shabbat, then you will see the difference between Shabbat mode and regular days, right? You can see how during Shabbat being a day, a feminine energy day, a day of being, right? Instead of a day of acting and creating and being in the creation and the achievement, Shabbat is the feminine energy within a day. Is I'm here, I'm making space for my family, for my connection with myself, with my kids, with my husband, with Akadosh Baruch Hu. So someone who has never experienced that must be very stressed out. And honestly, like, I would encourage anyone who didn't yet experience what it is to keep Shabbat to try it, not only for the mitzvah, but even like for the very practical experience that it is, for the amazing experience that it is to be able to disconnect in order to reconnect. Shabbat is from Friday night to Saturday night, right? But the idea of Shabbat, to be able to disconnect with Chol, meaning with our mundane life, in order to reconnect to the essential in our life, is something we can apply to our routine every single day. If I want, I can decide at 4 p.m. or 3 p.m., whatever hour you pick up your kids, I can decide to turn off my phone, this phone, and have maybe like a little flip phone in case of emergency or in case of anything that really is so important, right? I know that I personally have a kosher phone that doesn't have any of those apps, that has my iPhone, and I keep it on for when my kids are back home. I turn off my iPhone and I turn on my kosher phone because I have some important calls before Shkia, before sunset, for women who go to the mikvah. So sometimes they have a question about like how to proceed right before going to the mikvah, or if they have a question, an important question related to Taharat HaMishpacha, to the laws of family purity. So I have that, and I also have that for my husband, who needs to tell me at what time he's going to come back, or things like that, okay? It's always good to have like a phone on if we need to. But even if you don't have a second phone, you could have like a box that is like a phone box, right? And before you make your own rules, for instance, like let's make a dinner iPhone free or technology free, right? And we have a box, okay, where we are going to put the phones and lock the box in the kitchen. Everybody comes around the table. We have a good, nice dinner, a family dinner, and we are just sorry for that, and we enjoy real human interaction. And we enjoy that moment in order to demonstrate love. How can we demonstrate love during this moment, for instance, of the family dinner? Asking questions about their day, right? What was the highlight of your day? What was the most challenging moment? Is there anything you want to share with us? What did you learn in math? Okay, just regular question. We grew up with those questions around the dinner table, right? And if you don't have any idea, they have those cards. I will try to post it later on, but they have those cards for family gathering that are very nice. And they are open questions that everybody can pick a card and answer that question. And it can be something like about a memory, it can be something about a feeling. And it's nice, it opens up a conversation, right? Conversing with our family, telling the kids, you know what is the most, do you know, as a parent, what is the favorite thing your kid likes to do? The name of his best or her best friend, what they share together. Have you ever really spent time trying to understand why they like this, I don't know, movie? For instance, like I don't like watching a movie. But I recently, one of my kids told me, he loves this, it's called Avatar. It's like a martial arts cartoon. And so he told me, I asked him, would you like me to watch it with you? And I wanted to know it because he really enjoyed the books. And I read the books with him a few times. But now there is this series on my computer that I can connect to. So we watched an episode together. And he was so happy that I took out of my busy time in order to sit with him and watch that episode. And now when he's speaking about this or this character, I know who he's speaking about. And I entered his world. It's so important to connect and to demonstrate love, entering their world, right? So we saw that one of the obstacles that can come on the way to demonstrating love is electronic or social distraction, right? I'm going to give you another example of a social distraction that is not electronic. It's a human social distraction. And it happens to many people right now because Baruch Hashem, in the city where we live in Miami, every single night you have an event. You have an event in our community of Surfside, Bell Harbor, Bay Harbor. There are maybe 2-3 events every single night. And they are very interesting and very valid and very purpose-oriented events. You're going to meet with families of hostages, you're going to learn Torah, you're going to participate in a dinner to support Israel, you're going to meet with heroes from the war, you're going to meet with survivors of Nova, you're going to make challah, there are so many opportunities to do great things. Baruch Hashem. But there is another thing that is also very important. Our kids, being there, dedicating time to them. So I'm not saying don't go to any events. I'm also organizing an event every single week, every Tuesday night, as you know. Of course, go to those events, but pick your days. Why? Because kids, whether they are 8 months or 18 years old, they all need time with their parents. And you are the only one who really matters for them. His mom, her mom, her dad, his dad, right? Those are the people who can really bring them safety, security. You can also give them, we spoke about discipline, the first 10 classes, give them the structure that they need. Will a babysitter be able to put your kids to sleep? Or if you take them with you to your events, will they have a life that will bring them a sense of security, of routine, of safety? Maybe not. Maybe yes. I'm not sure. I personally like to work with the advices of Rabbi Jacobson and the Torah, that it's very important to have a seder, and so an order, right? A routine, especially for kids. The younger the kid, the more important the seder is. Which means that even if your kid is just a few weeks old, if you're going to have a seder, meaning like you're going to accustom your kid, your baby, to do a certain pattern, right, in your routine, like to give first the breast, then to burp, then to open the window, then to go for a walk, then to come back, and then to again like be fed, and this and that, and then right before going to bed we make the bathtub. During the bath you're going to sing, and during the bath he's going to have like the same smell and the same sound and the same feeling, and then after the bath he already knows what to expect. He's going to bed. This baby is imprinting inside of his own goof, his own body, a sense of security. I know what is coming after that. And this is bringing a lot of comfort to the kid, of serenity. It helps him build serenity, a sense of safety, right? Nobody likes to be in the unknown. Nobody likes to be unsure of what's coming up next, right? We all like to know what's coming up after. So by giving the seder, we are actually going to create that sense of serenity. Of course, the time of waking up and the time of going to bed are also amazing moments to really like bond to your kids and spend time like reading a story, saying the Shema Israel, like preparing the Negel Wasser for Netilat Yadayim in the morning, right? Whatever you're going to do, like make it like a routine, because for the kid, it's bringing them a lot of serenity. Okay, so yes, that's another obstacle that we can find in today's life, our social life. That is, of course, very important, but we also have to make sure that we have days that we are going to have those social encounters, whether a date with our husband, a regular class, a regular shiur where we go to, and the rest of the time, I'm here for you, my kids, because they need that, because they need you, because they need you to demonstrate the love. And the love we will see in the following classes that is given in the morning and at night is a very, very special moment of connection. Okay. Yeah. So another obstacle is the stress. So which stress are we speaking about? We're speaking about the stress of the parent, right? Parents have a lot of stress, whether they have to deal with financial issues, problems with the house, problems with the spouse, problems with the partners or co-workers at work, problems of health, God forbid. Like so many factors can create stress for a parent, right? But remember that it's not only your stress, it's also the kids' stress. And how is it an obstacle for you to demonstrate your love? Is because when a kid is stressed because he had a tough day, because he got bullied maybe in school, because he got mocked, because he was disregarded, because he didn't get a good feeling about, he didn't feel good about himself because he didn't get like a good grade at his math test or whatever it is, for whichever reason it is, or because he didn't have enough food, because he spilled his food for lunch and he didn't have anything to eat. He comes back home, and what happens? Sometimes he's going to be very aggressive with another child, right? And what are we going to do at that moment? We're going to arrive and we're going to scream at that kid, or we're going to punish that kid, or we're going to not understand what comes first. The first thing is that he had a very stressful day. And sometimes kids who bully their siblings at home are maybe kids who have been bullied during the day. So that's just an example. But it's very interesting to understand that even their own stress can be an obstacle for us to demonstrate our affection to them, because we do not understand, we do not perceive their state of stress. We just see a child that is overreacting, that is crying for no reason, and we have our own challenges, and maybe we don't have time to really dig in, sit in, try to understand what's going on, or have the right tools to help them, right? So it ends up that that day we're not going to give them the vital love, demonstration of love that they need. There is something that is very specific to the child that Rabbi Yechiel Jacobson reminds us, is that the perception of a child is egocentric, meaning that he perceives himself as the center of the universe almost. He reads everything that happens to him or her in his environment as coming from him. What does it mean exactly? It means that, for instance, if his mom is sad, the first thing a child is going to ask himself is, what did I do to make her feel sad? Because he perceives the world through, oh, I am the center of the world, of my world. I don't have that ability right now to really understand the feelings of the rest of the people around me. So I consider myself as the most important thing. So if my mom is sick, it's because of me. I'm in the center here. I probably did something wrong to him, right? To her. If it doesn't mean that there is a logical reason for that. The mom can be sad because she heard something that happened in Israel that was really difficult to hear. And he will think, oh my God, what did I do? Is it because, and he might verbalize it to his mom. He might not. He might just think inside, I'm not such a good kid. Look, my mom is sad. What did I do? Maybe I should have had a better grade in math and she wouldn't have been happier. Maybe I shouldn't have told my little sister that, and she would have been happier. Maybe I shouldn't have eaten all the chocolate and she would have been happier, right? So even if the mom realizes, because sometimes kids do ask, Mommy, did I do anything? Did I do anything wrong? Right? Or sometimes you're going to give a compliment to one of the kids. Oh my God, you did amazing. Kol hakavod. And the other child might think, why isn't she telling that to me? Like, am I not amazing? Right? They first see their everything in as like the their ego is very, very important. So this is also this is also one of the reasons why children start their day with an emotional, affectionate deficit, a lack of affection, because they already see the world as their own responsibility. So if a mom doesn't express her love to him, he will think that it is his own fault, right? So that's why we really have to double our efforts in order to prove them wrong, to tell them, I love you. And sometimes when we are sad, when we are angry, we can tell them, like, this has nothing to do with you. This is how I perceive a situation, and I am reacting like that, but that has nothing to do with you. Okay. So I just want to speak about one important thing also. When we want to demonstrate love and affection to someone, and we said to our kids even more so, we have to understand which mean works best for him to receive that love, that affection. There is a beautiful theory that is called the love language, right? What is this theory of the love language? It says that there are 5 different types of love language. Everybody has a different love language. Some people have multiple love languages, and some people will have just one. It all depends. There's no rule for that. But what is very interesting is that those 5 love languages are very different. And you have to identify for each kid what is his or her love language in order to be able to demonstrate your affection to them. So let's see. The first type of love language, the first love language is words of affirmation. What is words of affirmation? It is, I love you, saying it, like hearing words that demonstrate, that affirm the love, the affection. That's the first thing, okay? Using words, using your mouth, your words, your vocabulary in order to your power of speech in order to really convey that affection to your kid. The second love language is acts of services. So what are those acts of services? They are things that you're going to do for them. So it can be, for instance, like, I don't know, like, that one of your kids really likes chocolate cake. On Shabbat, you're going to tell him, look, I made this chocolate cake because I know you love it so much, right? It could be something that that your kid really appreciates. Like, I don't know, what can it be? Like something that you will do for him. But we were taking this example of that movie, for instance, that I watched with my kid. It's not because I enjoyed the movie, but I enjoyed doing something for him, that demonstrated that mommy likes spending time with you. Mommy likes to be in your world. Mommy likes to understand what you like, right? Because I love you. This is an act of service. Then the third language of love is physical touch. Physical touch, hugs, kisses, caresses, scratching the back, like I have some of my boys who are really like sensitive to backs, scratching the back, right? Can you scratch my back? And I sit next to them, I scratch their back, and that's when They start speaking about their challenges, about the questions they have in life. They are teenagers. And when they were younger, they would just appreciate, And now, now it's not just that they appreciate. Welcome back, Elisheva. It's not just that they appreciate, is that it's a moment of connection, right? I do that. I sit, I give them that 5, 10, 15. Sometimes it's even 2 minutes if you don't have time, but you give it to them. Why? Because this is their love language. Because through that touch, through that affectionate touch, right? You remember the grandmas who used to pinch okay, that's an affectionate touch. I touch you, I create a bond with you. And we know that touch is such a powerful tool. We learned that, I teach that in Tarat HaMishpacha when we learn about the Achakot, the laws of Achakot, during the period of Nida. But yes, touch is a very powerful way of connection. And it is a very powerful love language. There's something magical about touch. That's why we don't touch a man that is not related to us directly or our husband, right? Because there is a magic in the fact to touch. And when I touch, I give something very deep of myself. Okay, so that's the third love language. The fourth love language is gifts, right? So, okay, gifts, you know what I mean, right? Not necessarily a very expensive gift. No. We're speaking about little gifts. Could be just like a little note. Could be just like I saw like a lolly. I have a lollipop for you because I love you so much. I don't know, I don't like giving sweets as rewards or as proof of love, but unless it's very good sweets. But it could be like a prize. It could be like a little gift, whatever it is. And it doesn't need to be every day, but it just shows affection. Like, for instance, if a parent goes on a trip, a business trip or family simcha far away from the house and doesn't take the kids with them, he comes back with a little something, right? I went to New York for the simcha of our cousin, right? I brought you back like this little something from New York because I was thinking of you when I was in New York. This gift is a representation of my love for you, right? So this is a gift. And then, very important one that we already saw a little bit at the very beginning of the class is quality time. This is love language number 5, quality time. Quality time is so important and so necessary to organize in order to be able to give today, more than any other generation, I think. Today, we really need to make sure that we plan in advance quality time with our kids, whether it is saying, okay, after 5 p.m. or after 4 p.m., no more phone for mommy. I'm just with my kids for, even if it's just an hour. Then I will resume having my phone on if I need. Maybe I don't need, okay? Let's ask ourselves, do I really need? It can be planning like a special moment with that kid, only one of them at a time. Maybe take him for a walk, take him to the park, just you and him. Or take him for an ice cream at the restaurant, at the beach, right? If you're in Miami, if you're not in Miami, take him in the streets, walk to the park, to a special place, to a museum, a children's museum. It's so much fun. A science museum. I don't know, like whatever you feel like, right? It is a lot of demonstration of love to be able to. It's a great way to demonstrate your love when a parent takes a child, just this child, and makes time for him. Wow, that's incredible quality time. Works with the husbands, by the way, but also. Okay, so we're going to stop here for this week, and we'll meet Bezrat Hashem next week, the 18th, I think. Yeah, the 18th of March. See you. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. Chodesh Tov. And I hope to see you soon with another class of Lehaalot called Tuv. Bye.